This mistake is killing your snake plant and you didn't even know it. Today, I'll show you how to fix it. In fact, never place your snake plant in the spot shows exactly this. The 7 Deadly Sins of Plant Care min 3 to 10 o'clock. Alright, let's start with what matters most, the mistakes. Because before learning how to properly care for a snake plant, we need to talk about all the things we're doing wrong. And trust me, most of us have fallen into more than one of these. Sin number 1, the drowning, overwatering. The number 1 mistake, by far the most common, is treating it like a fern, as if it needed water all the time. And nothing could be further from the truth. Look at these leaves. Thick, firm, almost fleshy. That's no accident. They're water storage tanks. The Sansevieria comes from arid regions of Africa, where rain gives no warning. So what does it do? It stores as much water as it can, whenever it can. That means it's already carrying water inside. The simplest trick in the world: stick your finger in the soil. Not just the tip, all the way to the second knuckle. If it comes out even slightly moist, don't water. Wait. The secret is waiting until the substrate is completely dry, 100%. When in doubt, wait one more day. This plant will thank you with everything it's got. Sin number 2, the ceramic coffin, no drainage. Second sin, and this one is very tempting because we all do it. We buy a beautiful pot, ceramic, glazed clay, no hole at the bottom. A pot that looks perfect on the living room shelf. And that, friends, is a death sentence for the roots. Without a drainage hole, water collects at the bottom of the pot. The roots end up submerged. And roots that can't breathe rot. Simple as that. The solution is elegant and no one notices. Use a cash pot. Plant the Sansevieria in a simple plastic pot with holes and slip that pot inside the decorative one you love. When you water, take out the inner pot, drain it well, and put it back. The best of both worlds, style and root health. Sin number 3, the cave myth, not enough light. Third sin, and this one comes from a very widespread myth, that the snake plant can live in windowless bathrooms, dark hallways, the darkest corner of the apartment. And yes, it survives. That's the key word, survives. But surviving is not the same as thriving. In low light, the plant weakens, loses color intensity, grows slowly, and becomes vulnerable to disease. It's like asking someone to work in the dark. They can do it, but they won't perform at their best. What the Sansevieria truly needs to thrive is bright, indirect light. A spot near a window where plenty of light comes in, but without direct sun hitting the leaves. With that condition, you'll see new leaves growing consistently and the colors will intensify. The difference is remarkable. Sin number 4, the wrong substrate, dense soil. Fourth mistake, using regular garden soil. That generic soil that comes in huge bags and seems like a solution for everything. The problem is it retains too much moisture, compacts over time, and the Sansevieria's roots can't breathe. This plant's roots need a substrate that drains fast, stays loose, and has air in it. The best option is a cactus or succulent mix, already formulated for exactly that. And if you want to boost it even further, add perlite or coconut fiber to the mix. That guarantees the water drains quickly and the roots have room to spread. Sin number 5, ignoring the plant's heart, water in the rosette. This is a silent and very dangerous sin. Many people, when watering, pour water directly from the top into the center of the plant, what's called the rosette. And over time, that causes central rot. Water that pools in the center of the leaves doesn't evaporate easily. It creates constant humidity inside, and that's the perfect environment for fungi and bacteria that destroy the heart of the plant from the inside out. The rule is clear: always water around the edge of the pot. The water goes straight to the soil, reaches the roots, and the center of the plant stays dry and healthy. It seems like a small detail, but it can save your Sansevieria's life. Sin number 6, fertilizer abuse. Sin number 6, too much fertilizer. With the best intentions in the world, many beginner gardeners feed the Sansevieria every week, thinking it'll grow faster. And they achieve exactly the opposite. The snake plant is a naturally slow-growing plant. It doesn't need constant food. Excess fertilizer burns the roots, creates salt buildup in the substrate, and ends up weakening the plant. The right dose is simple. Fertilize just once a month, only during spring and summer, the active growth months. In fall and winter, the plant rests and fertilizer does it no good. Less is more. Sin number 7, paralysis by fear, not repotting. And we reach the 7th and final sin, the fear of repotting. The Sansevieria is known for tolerating and even enjoying being a little tight in its pot. That's true, but there's a limit. When you see roots starting to poke out through the drainage holes, when the pot starts to warp or crack from the pressure, or when roots appear above the soil surface, that's the signal that it's time to act. Repotting isn't difficult or traumatic for the plant if you do it right. Choose a pot just a couple of centimeters larger than the current one, use fresh substrate, and do it preferably in spring. The plant will reward you with a burst of new growth that will surprise you. The art of propagation. Now comes the part one find most exciting about having a Sansevieria, propagation. A single plant can become many, and there are several ways to do it. Let's look at the main methods, their pros, their cons, and the secrets nobody usually tells you. Method number 1, clump division, the pup. This is the fastest, safest, and most rewarding method. It's literally like the plant giving you a gift, a clone of itself, already formed, already rooted, ready to live independently. When you take the plant out of its pot, you'll see it has a system of thick roots underground, the rhizome. That's the underground stem connecting the mother plant to the pups that have sprouted at the sides. The task is to locate that rhizome and cut it with a clean, well-disinfected tool, either a knife or garden scissors. And here's the professional tip that makes all the difference. Don't plant the pup right away. Let the cut dry for at least a day, ideally in a well-ventilated spot. The scar that forms on the cut acts as a natural barrier against fungi. After that time, you can plant the pup in fresh substrate, and within a few weeks you'll see it start growing on its own. Method number 2, leaf in water. The second method is the slowest of all, but also the most visual, the most therapeutic. There's something hypnotic about watching, week by week, white roots appear inside a glass jar of water. The process starts by cutting a healthy leaf from the base of the plant, as close to the ground as possible. Then, at the base of that leaf, make an inverted V cut, that is, a pointed cut. This serves two purposes. First, it increases the surface area in contact with the water, which stimulates root development. Second, it keeps the base of the leaf from resting flat on the bottom of the jar, where it could rot. Place the leaf in a jar with water so the tip is submerged about 2 or 3 centimeters. Then wait. It can take 4 to 8 weeks to see the first roots, depending on temperature and light. One key point: change the water every week. Stagnant water loses oxygen and encourages bacteria that can ruin the whole process. Once the roots are at least 2 or 3 centimeters long, you can transfer the leaf to soil. The big secret: genetic reversion. Now pay close attention, because this is something very few people know, and it's one of the most important facts if you have a yellow-edged Sansevieria, like the Laurentii variety. If you take a leaf from the Laurentii and propagate it in water or soil, the new shoot that grows will be solid green, without the yellow edges you love. This is called genetic reversion, and it happens because the yellow color on the edges is contained only in the cells of that outer zone of the leaf. When the new plant grows from the central tissue of that leaf, it inherits the pure green, not the variegated pattern. So, what do you need to do if you want to keep the yellow edges? Exclusively the pup division method. Only that way will the new specimen be genetically identical to the mother and retain that distinctive pattern. This knowledge is what separates a beginner collector from someone who truly understands the plant. Method number 3, direct propagation in soil. The third method is for those who don't want to wait through the water process and prefer to go straight to the substrate. It works very well in warm, humid conditions, like in spring or summer. Cut segments from a healthy leaf, between 10 and 15 centimeters long. Then let them dry for a few hours so the cut edges can callus slightly. Next, push the leaf sections into a sandy, loose substrate with good drainage. And here's the detail many people forget that ruins the whole process: polarity. Each leaf segment has a part that was oriented upward and a part that was oriented downward, toward the soil. That original orientation must be respected when planting. If you insert the segment upside down, it will never sprout. Never. So if you want, mark the lower edge of each segment with a marker before cutting so you don't get confused. Myths, legends, and feng shui. We've reached the block that generates the most questions in the comments every time I talk about the snake plant. This plant isn't just about soil and water. It has a history, a mystique, and a whole call and water. It has a history, a mystique, and a whole collection of myths and beliefs surrounding it for decades. Let's go through them one by one. The air purifier, science or myth? Let's start with the most well-known myth, that the snake plant purifies the air. And the answer is, it's true, but with nuances. In the 1980s, NASA conducted a study on plants that could clean the air in enclosed spaces, thinking specifically about space stations. The Sansevieria was included in that study and proved effective at absorbing toxins like benzene, formaldehyde, and trichloroethylene, compounds found in paints, construction materials, and cleaning products. Now, the important nuance. To notice a real effect on your home's air quality, you'd need a fairly large number of plants. One Sansevieria in the corner isn't enough. But as part of a collection of plants in the home, it definitely contributes. And here's something that makes it truly special compared to most indoor plants. The Sansevieria carries out photosynthesis through a process called CM, which allows it to open its pores and absorb carbon dioxide at night, rather than during the day like almost all other plants. That means it produces oxygen while you sleep. That's why it's considered one of the best options for the bedroom. Why is it called mother-in-law's tongue? Second myth, or rather, a cultural curiosity, the name. Why mother-in-law's tongue? It's a quirky nickname, a little provocative, and it gets very different reactions depending on who you ask. The explanation is as simple as it is visual. The Sansevieria leaf is long, sharp, points upward, and seems to have no end. Popular humor compared it to a mother-in-law's tongue, long, pointed, and never stops. In some Latin American countries, it's also called St. George's sword or simply Sansevieria, which sounds a lot more elegant. The official scientific name changed in recent years. What we knew as Sansevieria trifasciata was reclassified as Dracaena trifasciata. But for most gardeners and plant nurseries, the common name remains the same, and it probably will for a long time to come. Feng shui, protection or bad luck? And we arrive at the question I get asked constantly, is it true that the Sansevieria brings bad luck because of its pointed leaves? This myth exists, and I want to dismantle it. In some popular interpretations of feng shui, plants with pointed leaves are associated with poison arrows, or shachi, the negative energy generated when sharp shapes point toward rest areas or social spaces. For that reason, many people avoid placing the Sansevieria in certain parts of the home. However, in traditional and deeper feng shui, the Sansevieria is not a negative plant. Quite the opposite. Its leaves growing vigorously upward symbolize the rise of qi, the positive vital energy. It's considered a plant of protection, strength, and growth. The placement recommended in feng shui is near the main entrance of the home, where it acts as a shield against negative energies coming from outside. It can also be placed in the southeast corners of the house, the zone associated with prosperity and financial abundance. Does it attract money? Speaking of prosperity, a belief that exists in many cultures is that a blooming Sansevieria brings money. Yes, blooming, because this plant does flower, though very rarely and under very specific conditions. The Sansevieria's bloom is a fairly rare event, especially indoors. When it happens, a long stalk of small flowers appears, usually white or cream-colored, with a sweet fragrance that intensifies at night. In many traditions, especially in Asian and Latin American cultures, seeing a Sansevieria bloom in your home is interpreted as a sign of extreme good fortune, positive change, and incoming financial prosperity. Whether you take it as a spiritual belief or a simple botanical curiosity, when a Sansevieria blooms, it's a special moment. And if you have photos or videos of one in flower, save them because they're images people want to see. Variety Showcase. Before we wrap up, a quick tour of the family. Because talking about the Sansevieria as if it were a single plant is a bit unfair. There are dozens of varieties, and each one has its own personality. The classic Laurentii. the one everyone recognizes. Tall leaves, dark green with horizontal bands, and that vibrant yellow edge that makes it unmistakable. It's the icon of the family, the one in offices, living rooms, and hotel lobbies. A classic for a reason. The minimalist cylindrica. Completely different in form, its leaves are cylindrical, like thick, firm fingers emerging straight from the soil. Perfect for modern decor, for small spaces where you need visual impact without taking up too much room. Very trendy in contemporary interior architecture. The elegant moonshine. This is a personal favorite, and I say it without hesitation. The moonshine has an almost spectral, almost ghostly silver-green color that makes it look like it's glowing faintly in low light. It's a gem for any collection and pairs with practically any decorating aesthetic. The tough one, Zeylanica, the wildest version of the family. Its leaves have a very intense dark green stripe pattern that really does look like snake skin. It's more rugged, more wild in its aesthetic, and if you like something with strong character, the Zeylanica is for you. And the most incredible thing, no matter which variety you choose, they all share the same secret of resilience we covered today. They all forgive mistakes. They all thrive with the same basic care. Only the aesthetic changes. The character? That's in the DNA. Conclusion. Alright, we've reached the end of this master guide, and if there's just one thing I want you to take away from everything we covered today, it's this. The snake plant thrives when you watch it closely and touch it little. What sounds like a paradox is actually its deepest nature. It doesn't need constant attention. It doesn't need watering every 2 days, or fertilizing every week, or constant repotting. What it needs is for you to observe it, understand how it's doing, and read its signals. And when the soil is dry, when a leaf needs space, when light starts running low, that's when you step in. The balance between calculated neglect and attentive care is its true key to immortality. Now it's your turn. I want to know, which of the varieties we saw today is the one still missing from your urban jungle? The sophisticated moonshine, the geometric cylindrica, the classic Laurentii? Or do you already have them all and there's another one we didn't mention? Tell me in the comments. And if your family has any myth or belief about the snake plant that your grandmother always repeated, I'd love to read it. Those comments are always the best. If this guide was useful to you, and I hope it was, you know what to do. Subscribe to Urban Plant Fix so we can keep growing your plants together. See you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and take care of your plants. Quieres recibir una notification cuando Claude responda. Notificar sonnet 4.6 Claude ESIAY Pud.